Hello everyone! My name is Zachary Gedzinski and thank you for tuning in to today's video. Now, today I'm basically going to be covering like a potential lawsuit between Wizards of the Coast and TSR LLC, aka TSR3. And apparently Wizards of the Coast is suing TSR3 over trademark violation and reprehensible content. Yeah, you can see where all this is going. It's basically woke on woke crap. And I'm here to cover it for you today. So buckle in tight as I go over this article and interject my own opinions into the fray. Renton, Washington-based gaming company Wizards of the Coast filed a preliminary injunction in Seattle last week that seeks to prevent the release of a Wisconsin company's upcoming tabletop game, citing conflicts over both intellectual property rights and allegedly racist and transphobic content. Seriously, Wizards of the Coast, you're not the ones to be commenting about such things. You're openly racist towards Caucasians, and you think that orcs and a race of monkey people are equal to African Americans. Yeah, that's how dumb and racist that you are. And about the whole transphobia thing, like, you mean the mentally ill people that think that they're the wrong gender and mutilate themselves due to their mental illness? Yeah, I'm not gonna comment further about the mentally ill people thing, but you get my drift. They're basically people that are trying to replace actual men and women because they're mentally ill and people enable them to do so. Wizards of the Coast, owned by conglomerate Hasbro, is the current publisher of the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game, the audience for which has been growing steadily over the course of the last several years. Well, it's been growing over the last several years, I do admit that, but unfortunately the woke cultists have snuck in and have been making demands that Wizards of the Coast is so stupid and eager to comply with, and actually ruin the game time and time again. Now, I'm not yet a player of tabletop role-playing games such as D&D and Pathfinder, but I do have an interest in diving into the hobby. That's why I'm checking out Geeks and Gamers Tabletop, so check them out on Gilded, and also check out their YouTube. They have a really cool campaign going on. Oh, and before I continue reading, if you are interested in creating content for Geeks and Gamers Tabletop or becoming a cast member, then check out their Gilded for more details, but you have less than 2 weeks to submit a video to them. The company's injunction filed on September 8th in U.S. District Court in the Western District of Washington aims to stop the publication of Star Frontier's New Genesis, a tabletop space opera role-playing game that's currently under development at TSR LLC, headquartered in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Yes, I've heard of this version of TSR. I've heard about them when they were producing Giant Lands. Like, they started out as a based company and then went suddenly woke when Ernie Gygax was attacked and then thrown under the bus to appeal to Twitter totalitarians, or basically those that dwell on Twitter. Because, you know, all people that use Twitter that are woke are Hitler-like. But yeah, like I said, it's woke on woke. And now, TSR 3 is hated by both the woke and the anti-woke. Trust me. Like, the anti-woke, once they see the first sign of wokeness, will immediately be repelled. So, yeah, that's not a smart idea to even dabble in wokeness one bit, because it's a demonic ideology. TSR LLC, aka TSR 3.5 or New TSR, is the latest company to lay claim to the name and legacy of the defunct TSR Inc., which is best known for publishing the original version of Dungeons & Dragons in 1973 and was acquired by Wizards in 1997. Yet again, the TSR trademark has lapsed because Wizards of the Coast didn't even bother renewing it, which it's their loss here. But that doesn't excuse TSR for basically throwing Ernie Gygax under the bus now, does it? Well, who knows, maybe Ernie Gygax will find greener pastures and find another project. Because I'm pretty sure there's several of us out there that want to develop our own projects. But that is a topic for another video now. TSR LLC was founded in June 2021 by Ernie Gygax, son of late D&D creator Gary Gygax, Stephen Dinehart, and Justin Lanassa, the owner and operator of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum in Lake Geneva. The museum is located on the site of the first office that Gary Gygax opened for TSR Inc. in 1976. Yet again, TSR 3 basically went woke and basically threw Ernie under the bus. New Genesis by TSR LLC is an attempt to revive the original Star Frontiers, which TSR Inc. published from 1980 to 1986. While Star Frontiers never found the success that D&D did, it's maintained a cult fanbase up to the present day. Several features of its universe were later recycled into the D&D spacefaring setting Spelljammer. Now, this is where the lawsuit that Wizards of the Coast is filing does have some legitimacy, because what TSR 3 is doing is violating copyright law. They're not violating trademark per se, which is completely separate from copyright, but since Star Frontiers is still under copyright, TSR 3, like the idiotic woke company that they are, basically shot themselves in the foot there by violating copyright, of course. Yet, copyright does need to be reduced to, what, 25 years at the most? Or 25 years until, 25 years after the original author's death, at the very least. Because we all know that Disney had a hand in screwing over public domain and copyright, and that if something is in the public domain, then trademarks can still screw you over. And yet, I did hear about new TSR from Clownfish TV, which they are a great channel, so I recommend that you check them out as well. Well, technically I heard about them on another YouTube channel, but let's not dwell on that and finish this up. In July, a preview copy of New Genesis leaked online and was met with immediate controversy due to allegedly containing explicitly racist and transphobic content. The Negro race is described as a sub-race in the game and as having average intelligence with a maximum intelligence rating of 9, while the Norse race has a minimum intelligence rating of 13. The preliminary injunction notes citing an example from the New Genesis playtest. Again, this is probably different species. Plus, negro is a Spanish word for black. Yet this is Wizards of the Coast. We're talking about, they think that monkey people and orcs are actual African Americans. How racist can you be, Wizards of the Coast? You're so woke that you hate all of humanity. Why don't you admit that you're racist towards every single human being and that you're sexist against both men and women now? But no, you won't admit to double sexism, that you hate men and women equally, and that you would rather have robots. Washington state-based watchdog group No Hate in Gaming, cited in Wizards' preliminary injunction exhibits, subsequently documented hate messages allegedly posted to social media by New Genesis author Dave Johnson. Oh my gosh, whenever a group calls themselves a no-hate group or something like that, they're automatically a hate group. And these hate messages, it's just things that Democrats hate that are not actually hateful at all, but are actual facts. Like, seriously, woke Democrats deserve to shut up, along with any other woke liberals out there. They're the reasons why our culture is out of crap right now, why the woke cultists are invading tabletop games and every other single facet of society. So yeah, the wokes need to shut it and leave us alone for once, and then go on their days and go extinct like another demonic cult. In the injunction, Wizards Council writes that it would be irreparably harmed by the publication and distribution of the game using its trademarks because consumers may mistakenly associate Wizards with the rehackable content of the game, damaging its reputation and goodwill and undermining its efforts to foster a culture that embraces diversity. Yeah, you embrace outward diversity, but not diversity of thought. You support child grooming, no less, since you're all for the alphabet mafia now. Especially the mentally ill ones that want to self-mutilate themselves and convince children to mutilate themselves, too. But that's the thing. TSR 3 may be woke, but Wizards of the Coast is even more woke than they are. Like, probably rivaling Paizo in the woke department at this point. Those efforts include adjusting the in-game lore to move away from specific fantasy races being treated as plug-and-play villains in publications such as this year's Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, an anthology of adventures that are inspired by world mythologies other than post-Tolkien Western fantasy. And speaking of Tolkien, of course Amazon is making a fake version of Tolkien's work where they're revising everything from only, what, a few pages that they have the rights to. This is why SJWs need to be exterminated en masse. They're a threat to culture, and they will not stop until they're driven into extinction. The September 8th injunction marks the latest step in an ongoing legal fight between TSR, LLC, and Wizards. They had previously filed suit against one another in December over the rights to the TSR name and to Star Frontiers. That's the thing. Wizards of the Coast let the TSR name lapse, but the Star Frontiers property is more of an important one here since it's still under copyright, and TSR being complete idiots decided to violate copyright laws. So I feel no pity for either company in this situation. Like, I'm just calling it out as I read it. And both companies are woke. Wizards may be more woke, but they have copyright laws on their side. While TSR is not as woke, but they have the trademark thing on their side. Now do you see, folks, how irritating this is to most of us that just want to have fun? But no, woke, stupid companies have to be idiots. TSR LLC claims Wizards had allowed both trademarks to expire at an undisclosed point in the early 2000s, which rendered the trademarks eligible for their use. Yes, they do have a point that the trademarks did lapse. However, copyright is another thing. Copyright does not equal trademarks. So, technically, if the trademarks did expire for Star Frontiers, they may have that, but copyright's going to say otherwise. Have they even looked at copyright laws? Because if you don't use a trademark, you lose it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, a legal expert may be able to explain that, such as Ricardo Law, which I have yet to see his content, but he is a good D&D player, as I've seen. It also seeks the removal of a content disclaimer that Wizards has added to digital versions of older TSR products, such as the original Keep on the Borderlands module. Yet again, it's a woke on woke fight, which TSR is the least woke out of these companies, but they did bury Gygax under the bus. They literally threw him under the bus, metaphorically, due to an SJW hate mob. That's the thing, like I have no contempt for either company, but even a company that's woke like TSR3 does have a point here. This disclaimer attempts to make a statement of fact argument, and therefore paints all of the writers, editors, artists, and consumers of those products as supporting those alleged prejudices, stereotypes, and bigotry wrongfully claimed to be part of those products. TSR LLC wrote online as part of a now cancelled Indiegogo campaign to raise legal fees. Yeah, I've heard a bit about this too. Like, TSR3 may be woke, but they're not as woke as Wizards of the Coast. but still, if they wanted more people to support them, they wanted to have caved under the Twitterozzi and threw Ernie Gygax under the bus. Because that's just wrong to throw someone like that just wants to have his chance in making a game that others will enjoy under the bus because of totalitarians on social media. Now, if you want to use actual social media, that's good. I do suggest using Minds, Gab, and Truth Social. I have yet to check out Getter, but out of those three, definitely check out Gab. And of course, the Geeks and Gamers Gilded server as well. Wizards counterfiled to seek the cancellation of TSR LLC's trademark registration, alleging that TSR LLC had filed a fraudulent claim with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in order to lay claim to the original TSR's name and intellectual property. Oh, that's the thing. The trademark for TSR had lapsed, but Wizards of the Coast unfortunately has a point that they are violating copyright when it comes to Star Frontiers. Wizards also notes in its injunction that it acquired the right to both TSR's name, its unique logo referred to in the injunction as a design mark, and its intellectual properties, including Star Frontiers, which when it purchased TSR in 1997. Well, you're partially incorrect, Wizards of the Coast, because let's face it, you let the trademark for TSR lapse, but you have copyright on your side due to the ridiculous copyright laws. But you're still a stupid woke company that's gonna wind up crashing and burning eventually. In particular, Wizards filing states Wizards has licensed the TSR mark and related Dungeons & Dragons intellectual property to One Bookshelf Incorporated, which sells older editions of Dungeons & Dragons products bearing TSR mark. One Bookshelf has sold products bearing the TSR mark continuously since December 2012. This includes, at the time of writing, Star Frontiers itself. A representative of Wizards of the Coast said Wizards of the Coast doesn't comment on pending litigation. Geekwire has reached out to TSR LLC for comment. So, here you go, folks. And, of course, also mentioning that Stephen Reinhardt as a co-founder. That's the thing. This is more woke on woke bullcrap, as I can see, with Wizards of the Coast fraudulently claiming violation of trademark, but this is an issue of copyright. Basically copyright infringement, from what I can see. Even a lawyer, such as Nick Ricada, can tell you that. This woke crap is utterly annoying. Well, thank you, everyone, for bearing with me through this cringe. Again, I'm your host, Zachary Gedzinski, and you can check out this video on Zen Variety on YouTube, Zen Variety on BitChute, Sotar Mix on Rumble, and Zen Variety Mix on Odyssey, which eventually I hope to just condense to Zen variety as I get more subscribers. So please subscribe, like the video, comment, and if you're feeling generous, then a super thanks will be appreciated. Other than that, have a good day and God bless.